Okay, so today I thought we could talk a little bit about some of the scams and some of the bad things that happen in the equipment leasing industry, and hopefully help you avoid falling victim to some of the bad things that some of the bad players do out there. One of the most common scams that we run across is what we call an Evergreen lease clause. And an Evergreen lease clause is when a company slips into the contract that somewhere between 90 and 180 days of when the contract is due up, not before and not after, and via certified mail, you have to notify them of your intent to terminate the lease. Well, that if you don't do that, and you won't know about it a lot of the time, they'll extend the lease for 6 months or 12 months, and so you'll just have to keep making your payments even though you shouldn't owe them anymore. And that could cost you $10,000 or $15,000 or even more, depending on the cost of the equipment. Another thing we run into a lot is companies that have done what's called an advance fee scam. And what that is they'll tell you in order to apply, you need to pay them $2,000 or $4,000 because of all the work it takes to look into equipment leasing. And in fact, it's not really that hard. We typically have a pretty good idea of what will go through and what will not go through, and these companies will then keep the money if you don't qualify, and that's no good. You should never have to pay an advance fee in order to qualify for equipment leasing. Another thing we run into, fake low rates. So if you Google equipment leasing rates or industrial equipment leasing or something like that, some companies will pop up on Google saying that you can do equipment leasing from a 5% interest rate. So that is a scam. There is no such thing. No company qualifies for a 5% interest rate unless you're buying the equipment like directly from a dealer who's going to take a loss on the financing in order to make a bunch of money selling you a brand new dump truck or something like that. Like Cat Financial is legitimate, and a few others. But no equipment leasing company can really offer you 5% rates on equipment. And the corollary to that, we also see fake equipment leasing calculators. And so what will happen is you'll go onto a company's website, and let's say you put into the website, or into the calculator, that you want to finance $50,000 worth of equipment for 5 years. It'll spit out a number like $1,050 a month. And so they know that 98% of the people on their website are not going to come anywhere close to qualifying for a rate like that. And they don't really make clear that, well, it's really going to cost you a lot more, and this is the best possible rate you could get. And in fact, a real equipment leasing calculator that told the truth, I've never seen one, but if there was one out there, it would tell you, well, if you have perfect credit and you could just go to the bank anyway, so you don't really need us, it might be $1,050 a month. But if you have so-so credit, it's actually going to be $1,400 or $1,500 a month. And if you have not so good credit, like a 600 credit score, it might be $1,900 a month or $2,000 a month. And so they reel you in. And in fact, the person on the phone may tell you a lower rate, and then the contract comes back and they hope you don't notice, or you're too far in the process and you just sign up for the higher rate. And so companies should just give you what you need, the real numbers, so that you can make a well-informed business decision. And unfortunately, a lot of the times that doesn't happen. The last one I want to talk about, and so the last four were scummy, but not actually illegal. Now the last one I want to talk about, and this happens more than you might think, is actually changing the contract. And so what a company will do is they'll sign you up and they'll tell you that at the end of the lease term you can buy the equipment for $1, and so you send the contract back, and then before they've signed it, they actually change it, so they slip a residual in there, whether it's 10% or 20% or something like that, and they hope that you don't notice. And so there's some tools that we talk about on our website that will show you, like Adobe Acrobat 11, which you can get online for $20 a month. Well, you can upload the original contract, then you can upload what they sent back, and it will check, and it'll show you, are there any changes to the contract? And it goes without saying, a company that changed the contract on you, you don't want to do business with them. You want to find a different company. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you're on our website already, there's more information below in the blog post, and if you're looking at this on YouTube, there's a link to the blog post that has more information about these topics in the body of the YouTube. So